You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Bryan White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother Dave. Hey Dave, how you doing over there?
Thank you for asking. Snowpocalypse Part 2. The electric boogaloo is upon us. And I don't much care for that. Don't like snow, don't like winter, don't like snowpocalypses.
It's coming in hard. 2 feet of snow.
Don't like snow, don't like apocalypses, don't like them together. What kind of bullshit is this? Fucking end of February.
I know. I hope that the power holds out, because there's nothing worse. Because this shit does happen up here where we lose power, and when that happens, when it is cold and snowy, it sucks.
We have not lost power in this apartment. Actually, the last apartment we didn't lose power that often either. It happened.
You probably got a pretty solid grid down there in the city. Up here,
It's dicey. Out in the country.
In the town that we used to live in, like, it was like a stiff wind. A stiff breeze would blow through and we'd lose power for like 3 days. Well, we moved over here and we are near a couple of like municipal facilities. And so you got the prison over there too. We got the jail. We got this old folks home. We have the county offices. And so the continuance of government is kind of important in those cases. And so we have this kind of like a stronger system, but still it goes down every now and then. And when it does, it doesn't come back for like days.
Well, I genuinely hope that this is much ado about nothing, as the kids say these days.
Yeah. But you know what?
What's that?
This is much ado about something.
Oh yeah, what?
It's 3 years of this podcast.
It sure is 3 years of this podcast. You know what I am celebrating with? I pulled something out of the fancy stock for it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this is a 2021 Bière de Garde. It is a Bière de Norman. Bière de Norma. From
what is this? What is that? I don't. These are words. I understand that these are words you're saying that, but I don't. They don't make sense to me.
It is a wild ale of sorts. Actually, I don't know if it's wild. It's a slightly sour, some honey in it.
Oh, okay.
Sat in a barrel for about 10 years.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. A lot of the
all I got is an orange vanilla seltzer.
That sounds gross.
You would have thought that I would have busted out the cheer wine.
Yeah, where's your private stock of cheer wine?
Couldn't get it in time.
Wow.
No. A listener did show me something recently, though, just in the last couple of days, that even I would have declared an abomination. I believe I did on site. It was cheer wine.
Oh my, that's good.
Ale.
Yikes.
All right.
Someone made this, correct?
Yeah.
This is like the guy who makes like the Dr. Pepper or the Mountain Dew wine.
Maybe that guy on the internet who made what is it? He made like a mead out of Monster Energy.
The ABV of that must be insanely high, given how much sugar is in that.
I know. Yeah. But nope. I got my limits. He showed me that and I was like, whoo, that sounds terrible. That sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, this is a little oakier than I would have liked, this one here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. 3 years. Who knew?
3 years.
Who knew?
What's your favorite episode?
Of the last year?
Sure.
Or just overall?
Nah, why not both?
Shit. The Beaver trilogy, not a Bring Me the Axe episode,
that was
but
a good one.
That's one of my favorite. I think that's the best one that we ever did.
Which sucks because it's a movie no one's ever heard of or seen. It's a movie
nobody's ever seen because it's really hard to track down. It is. I think that was one of our best. Our Dawn of the Dead episode.
That was good.
You know that we did last. Did we do that one last year? Or did we do that one the year?
That was
before?
The first year.
Last year we did Night of Living Dead. That's right. Then we're closing it out with this one tonight. Yeah. We got a bunch of shit in the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. And a full year is scheduled out. We've got some great movies on the horizon. Stuff coming down the pipe. We got our 100th episode is coming up
soon.
Very soon.
Couple weeks.
Couple of weeks. We'll be doing our 100th episode. We got a big movie lined up for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Do we announce it?
Yeah, at the end of this one.
The end of this one, yeah. So yeah, you'll find out what that is. Well, it should have come as a surprise to no one, but still, we got some great guests booked this year.
We got some great guests in March. We got a lot of guests in March.
A lot of like some old friends. We got some new friends coming in. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Not just Eileen coming back.
No, it's not. It can't just be Eileen all the time. I mean, it can be. I'd be fine.
Eileen being the fifth Beatle here. Yeah, but stick with us if you've been with us. I know. I still hear from listeners who've been with us since episode 1 or episode 2.
Well, God bless you.
I know. There's another guy that I heard from who actually goes back even further, who was a listener of my old podcast.
Wow.
The episodes no longer exist. I took those ones down. But but
I'll be damned.
Yeah, it's wild. I never saw it happening.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, but here we are. Practically growing up in neighborhood video stores and the steady diet of utter garbage those shops provided us.
Bravo.
It was a choppy segue, but I got there. There's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Just before we get into it, it's a lot of housekeeping for your ass. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod, and Dave's over there at That Werewolf. I encourage you to follow us.
Yeah, I just posted the pictures of my 3 latest posters that I acquired.
Those are some good posters, man. Did you get those? Did you get those restored?
No, they actually were in great.
They just came in really good condition.
I got those in that most recent auction that you were looking at, and they're just in great condition.
That's great.
There's
that's wild.
That man in the white suit is from 1951. The thing is like pristine.
It looks mint. One of these days, I'm going to actually like commit to a couple of those. Like just find some space on the wall to put some of those up, because it has always been a sort of like a dream of mine to own theatrical one sheets. But like when you look at the people who do the reselling, it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, no, you got to listen. If you are interested in posters like this, it's the website that does the auctions I go through is emovieposters.com.
I think it's emovieposters.com.
It looks real low rent, and you'll look at it and be like, this can't be legit, but it is. It's just like the dude's been doing it. He's not changed the website like since he started in 1999. But you can get some really cool shit for not a lot of money. Like I have like that Italian Day of the Dead one that I paid like $25 for. Like because it's an auction.
You got a bunch of those Streets of Fire ones. But like in the last bunch, there were some that were really, really surprising. Like you will see if you go to sort of like legit resellers, they'll sell you a Friday the 13th poster for like $1,500. Yeah. This site, you can get the same poster, in certain conditions for like 150 to 2, something like that. Typically goes to 250 to 300.
Or if nobody's paying attention, you can get it for like $80.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of like you can't really go into it like knowing what you want. In that case, you got to kind of just buy.
Because they sell them in lots. But like in the last round that I saw, there were also a shitload of those Polish movie posters, the ones that take like trashy movies and turn them into fine art.
Yep.
Yeah, really fucking amazing stuff. So yeah, one of these days I'm gonna actually like commit and get some. Like I'll bid every now and then, but mostly just to make people fucking pay for those posters.
Yes, do it out of spite.
Out of spite, fuck them. Yep. Hey, and if you don't know, we got another show called 99 Cent Rental where we cover all manner of video store madness on the weeks that Bring Me the Axes Off. Our latest episode covering the blaxploitation martial arts cartoon Black Belt Jones is out now. And we'll be back next week with a look at Ruggero Deodato's action-adventure fever dream, Raiders of Atlantis.
It's dumb as hell, and it's pretty fun. It is
outrageous. It is a movie that shows the death of the big bad villain in the trailer.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Hey, and don't sleep on Laughing in the Dark.
Oh, heard of it.
Yeah. Yep. We are 7 weeks in, I believe, and going strong. If you grew up, if you were a 90s kid, you grew up on Are You Afraid of the Dark, or you just can't get enough of us, you can join Dave and I and Eileen from Week Horror and Mikey from The Rewatcher in Dave's living room.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. And have a fucking laugh with us for like 45 minutes. It's a funny goddamn show.
I've never heard it, but I've been on it, and it makes me laugh.
We
Mostly
really good
Eileen
time.
making me laugh, but
Saying really outrageous, inappropriate shit. Yeah. Yeah. You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxpod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love, would like to hear us give it the old business. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there at patreon.com/bringmetheaxpod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. All paying members get ad-free episodes. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod. Do you think I'm spooky? The latest episode is a look at the season 2 episode, Aubrey.
Good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
We got 2 back-to-back ones that are coming up. Pretty good.
They're pretty good. Yep.
like-
There's also our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition, which is a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. The current episode is a look at Get Out.
Get out!
Get out of here. Get out. Yep. All Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels like voice and video chat and the watch parties option. Watch movies with us on a Friday night. What else you got going on?
Did you guys watch this?
We did.
Good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. There's a few of us just enjoying the gory spectacle that is Day of the Dead. Yeah. Once again, that's patreon.com/bringmetheaxpod. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'll be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So take a moment. It's their fucking birthday.
Yeah, please do.
Give us the gift of criticism.
But like good criticism. Like
Good
say
criticism.
nice things. Don't say
hey, happy anniversary.
Yeah, you don't show up to someone's birthday and be like, well, you are trash and you're a little too woke for my taste. I mean, some people do, and they are tacky as hell.
Guys, cool it with the mouth noises.
Well, I won't, actually. I will not do that.
I refuse.
Now I'm doing that out of spite.
And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor, give the episode a like and leave a comment because we love hearing from you guys. We truly
You tell me what your favorite episodes are. That's what I want to hear from y'all.
Of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Or just in general?
Or in general of this show, but also of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I would actually like to, I would like to actually know what is, because I know, like, I've got a list of some of my favorite episodes, but I would like to know what, like, are considered, like, listener favorites.
Okay.
I've heard Elves is high up on that list for some fucking reason.
Probably because that is the one where we both end up laughing unhinged for about a minute straight to the point where I was choking.
Yep. So yeah, I just want to get all this out of the way right at the top of the show so we can give you the trailer. Here we go.
First came the night, then came the dawn. Now comes the most eagerly awaited day in horror film history. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
We've been punished by the Creator. We visited a curse.
Hello? Is anyone there?
For the few remaining, their only hope of survival is to find a cure.
You're wasting time trying to define what's happening.
But the odds are against them.
We're in the minority now. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculations.
And so is Captain Rhodes.
Anybody else have any questions about the way things are gonna run around here from now on?
Their one chance is Bub.
It's working on instinct. A deep, dark, primordial instinct.
But their time is running out.
They can be fooled, don't you see? They can be tricked into being good little girls and boys. The same way we were tricked into it and promised some reward to come.
But when the tricks wouldn't work,
They're learning. They're actually learning.
their world fell apart.
Let him go! God damn it! Or I'll cut you in half.
Shoot that woman, you're dead.
Wasn't very nice, you know. That wasn't very nice at all. You can just sit there in the dark, think about what you've done. Think about it. Think.
The dead shall have their day. Day of the Dead.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
That's a bad trailer.
I love a bespoke trailer.
It's a bad trailer.
Yeah. kind of sucks.
Yeah, one of the many problems that dogged this fucking film upon its release was, in fact, a bad trailer and a bunch of pretty tepid TV spots too.
And some reviews that are not very kind.
Oh man, well, I see that shit coming because Romero I don't think he has ever, with the exception of Dawn of the Dead, because everybody kind of had fun with that one, I don't think he's ever really reviewed well.
I mean, let's be honest. These are the movies that are good. Everything else he's made is like, real.
I think
Martin's
like we're right in the sweet spot. Martin to, I think, Day of the Dead. This is sort of his last truly independent movie, but like that period of like fucking Martin to this movie, there's a lot of solid gold in there. Couple of fucking misses, but
not looking at you, Night Riders.
I know, but Creepshow's pretty good, you know. Yeah, this is, and if you've listened to this show long enough, you'll know this is my favorite of the bunch.
Which I find astonishing. I do not like this movie very much.
That's amazing. It is full of pure characters. Everybody is over the top. This is Tom Savini's masterpiece.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever did better than this.
No, that I will agree with.
The special effects are so fucking good and they're so gory. This movie is so violent that the very first time I saw it was me and my friend Mike from middle school. We did a sleepover. We were on a tear. We had seen Dawn of the Dead and we made the connections that this was the sequel, obviously. We watched this, and when this movie ends, it is such a downer that I was legit bummed.
I think when we talked about Bring Her Back, I had similar feelings to that movie that I do about this one, in that the movies before this, I think the first one, I think he goes into Night of the Living Dead, maybe not knowing that he has something to say, but definitely saying something with his movie. And obviously he sort of sets a pace for horror. And then he goes into Dawn of the Dead, very much having something to say and saying it very well. I think he goes into this not knowing what he wants to say, but feeling like he has to say something. Yes. And then nothing happens. And in the absence of a story, he just sort of leans into the gore, and that becomes a crutch.
I don't know about that. Dawn of the Dead is a pretty gory movie.
Yeah, and in a different kind of way. Dawn of the Dead is very goofy in its gore. This one is not. This is very realistic in its gore. I mean, sort of. I mean, there's obviously some shit that's not, but...
yeah, and when it comes to the sort of central messaging of Romero's zombie movies, you know, we've kind of sussed out a kind of meaning and an interpretation of Night of the Living Dead over the years. He was way more explicit with Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
This time around, he goes into this with something, but it's real sparse.
Yeah, and I think in the absence of likable characters and in the absence of a solid plot,
I can disagree with the likable characters.
Oh, I hate every character in this movie.
There are so many awesome bad guys in this movie.
I think they're shitty. But I will agree with the reviews when we get there. But this one just
but the thing is
me.
I think that there is actually a subtext to this that even Romero may have been unaware of. This is him. Very, very angry with the way that like he's never really quite able to make the movies that he wants because he's always at the and I think we cover this in our Dawn episode, but he seems to always be kind of up against, his back's always against the wall when it comes to funding.
Yeah,
he never quite makes the movie that he wants to. And so like in this movie, like the zombies are incidental at best.
I agree with that, but also at the same time, it's like there are tons of people who have no money to make any movies and they make outstanding movies. Like he had to scale this down and he did. Like that, it is a huge limitation. It's not an unreasonable thing to say, but I don't think it's an excuse to make something that is in some way disappointing.
Sure. But even Romero has said
this is his favorite too.
This is his favorite. His second, also his second favorite is Survival of the Dead, which was his final film. So,
well, I think that's a lie. I think that's him just trying to justify those last fucking terrible movies.
No, but
He also he was sort of the eternal outsider when it came to making movies. Like, he always kind of had an excuse for why the studios or the people with the money were interfering. And it's like that, it sometimes came across as like, you just don't want to have to play the game and, or you don't know how to play the game. And so you kind of pin it on them. I mean, I don't dislike this movie. I think it's fine. I think for me, the second one has so much going for it. It has really likable characters. It has an aesthetic that fits the mood and the vibe of the movie. And I think it is trying to say something. And this one, it doesn't have an aesthetic because of where it's set. And so there's not much to connect to visually because it's all just sort of in the dark or in a cinder block room. And the characters are thoroughly unlikable. I mean, you might enjoy them as villains, but like they're just kind of shitty dudes. And all everybody does is just screams at each other the whole time.
Everybody's just yelling at each other the whole time.
And so I think maybe when you saw this might have had a lot to do with how you feel about it. Because if you're a 12 or 13-year-old boy, this is some gory shit, even by today's standards.
I don't think, and the thing is like so many people were trying to we're trying to cash in on George Romero's very own thing. And there are some that
Hell, even George Romero couldn't do it.
I know there's some that are really, really gory. Like, Dr. Butcher MD comes real close.
And that one's just dopey as hell, too.
But the special effects in this one are on a whole other level.
Because you've got three of the industry's best working together to make it happen. Mm-hmm. So it's no surprise that you end up with what we get because they're all fucking top of their game. And they're learning from each other, too.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, here we go. The year was 1985.
Yes, it was.
There were some other movies that were released in 1985.
Do tell.
Reanimator.
Zombie-ish.
Zombie adjacent. Mm-hmm. Reanimator. Very fun movie.
Yep.
Return of the Living Dead.
Fucking love that. Funny. In the reviews, because these came out around the same time.
Return of the Living Dead came out 2 weeks after this one.
Which maybe hurt this one quite a lot because Return of the Living Dead is a fantastic movie that's a lot of fun. This one is not a lot of fun. And so I think there's inevitable comparisons. And in the reviews, almost every review that I read cited Return of the Living Dead, which is a little unfair because they're very different movies.
I think so, for sure, yeah. Friday the 13th, The New Beginning came out that year. Go back, it's like a couple episodes ago we covered that one for the last Friday the 13th.
One of my favorites.
Yep. And you turned me around on it. Which movie. I am fucking shocked.
It's a fun movie. Well, we're getting another one coming up.
Yep. Fright Night in 1985.
Hell of a movie.
Yep. 4 movies.
Have we covered all of these?
All of these, yeah. Always be hustling. Okay. Go back and listen to a Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead. That's another top one for me. That was a great fucking episode. That
was a fun one. Was it Peaches Christ did that with us?
Peaches did Fright Night with us.
Okay, yeah.
And rounding it out, one that we have yet to address, but we really should, Demons.
I am genuinely surprised that it has not made it yet. I think it has been on the list before and maybe it got bumped around because as much as I don't love that movie, I have seen it so many fucking times.
Same. I have no really strong feelings about it. I think it is incredibly fucking stupid, but I watch it often.
Yep.
Yeah. So here's our cast and crew. Director George A. Romero, as we mentioned, directing his favorite of the zombie movies. A lifelong Pittsburgh filmmaker, this movie represents the final film of that cycle. After the success of Dawn of the Dead, he signed a 3-picture deal with United Film Distribution Company under the condition that one of those movies be a sequel to Dawn.
Then he immediately let them down.
The other two being Night Riders and Creepshow. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know anybody who likes Night Riders.
It's a very stupid movie.
It's a weird
Gary
movie.
Poland likes it.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Yep. Following this independent epitaph, several years go by before Romero enters his studio period, beginning with 1988's Monkey Shines.
Not good.
It was that was not the first one that I saw, but it's not terrible. It's not bad.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah. Our cast includes Lori Cardille, daughter of Bill Cardille, Pittsburgh broadcast personality, and the news guy who appears in the news segments of Night of the Living Dead.
Is that really his daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like all good horror movie personalities, she has soap opera credentials, appearing on both the Procter & Gamble produced The Edge of the Night and sharing a little crossover with Kelly Maroney and Ryan's Hope.
Okay. Yeah. She's also in Michael Varotti's last movie.
Really?
Yep. There's a zombie outside.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. In that.
Yep. She appearing in mostly East Coast advertisements and stage productions. Lori also had a significant role in the unaired pilot for George Romero's amateur wrestling TV pilot, Iron City Ass Kickers.
That sounds terrible.
I think it's on YouTube. I only just recently learned about it. I'm thinking I might have to check it out.
I can't imagine why it didn't get picked up.
Yep. We've also got Joe Pilato in his career-defining role. After a small role that ended up cut from American releases of Dawn of the Dead, he's in the Italian one. That scene's in the Italian one, right?
The Italian one is the only one I have watched a lot in the last 10 years or so I can't even remember the original.
All right. Yeah. He became one of George's regulars, also appearing in Night Riders and the Romero-adjacent slasher Effects. He completed the KMB trifecta after appearing in this movie with Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger by appearing in both The Demolitionist and Wishmaster for Robert Kurtzman.
Wishmaster is a terrible movie.
Again, I kind of love Wishmaster.
I mean, it looks really cool. Like, the effects in that movie are awesome. Not surprising, but boy, is it shitty.
The Demolitionist also big on special effects and cool costumes and shit like that. But
the Demolitionist is at least fun to watch. It is stupid as hell, but it is fun.
It has everybody in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pilato fell into this role when Romero hired him practically sight on scene. I guess it's what happens when your budget gets cut in half and you can't really afford Tom Atkins anymore.
You get to the end, you're like, I don't know, that guy? You're fine. Come on.
Again, this is one of my favorite horror movie villains, like, ever.
He wanted Tom Atkins for this role?
No, I'm making that part up, but I think, like, the difference between a cast like Creepshow and a cast like Day of the Dead was in that sort of lost budget, because Creepshow actually had a much bigger budget. Like, this movie was budgeted at $7 million initially. Creepshow was $8 million.
Well, we get Ted Danson in that.
Yeah. Yep.
He had dancing money.
Yep, though I don't do con celebrities anymore, I have met a few, and Joe is among the friendliest and drunkest that I ever met.
Look, if I were in his position, I would probably also get drunk.
He was so friendly and so pleasant, and he was so wasted that he kind of forgot that choke on him line, which is what he was writing on everybody's merch.
Just says choke on and then just trails off.
Kind of.
This is a big chewy pretzel. It's like, oh.
$5.
$5?
Marge, you got a butt that won't quit. So, rounding out the cast, we got Richard Liberty in what is also probably his career-defining role. This one was written specifically with Liberty in mind. He'd worked with Romero previously in The Crazies. Following this, he enjoys a number of small roles in minor league movies like the time-traveling aircraft carrier movie The Final Countdown.
Which is really fucking stupid.
And the Kid Lost in Time movie for Disney, Flight of the Navigator, which is too bad. He's one of the things about this movie that makes me love it as much as I do. His character is so fucking outrageous.
He is quite good in this.
And he's fantastic. Yeah. His final movie before his death in 2000 was Virtual Weapon by Antonio Margheriti.
Oh, in 2000?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Look, Antonio Margheriti was struggling by the mid 80s.
Yep. So we got one tagline. First, there was Night of the Living Dead, then Dawn of the Dead, and now the darkest day of horror the world has ever known. Yeah, there's others. I mean, there's others, but they appear on like modern posters and like, fan interpretations.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. Most of the marketing around this movie was fucking bungled.
Yeah, that trailer is garbage. Like, it's cute, but it does not sell the movie.
Nope. So originally budgeted at around $7 million, the movie was a significantly different picture. It was much bigger. A lot of the original plan ends up in Land of the Dead.
In Land of the Dead, they reused the location.
Yeah, a lot of the original plan ends up in Land of the Dead, but the big stipulation from UFDC was that the movie needed to have an R rating, which, how dare you?
Well, see, I think this again goes back to what I was saying. He has admitted this before. Like, he didn't know how to make movies any other way than he made them, and he also seemed like he was a little bit unwilling to try. And so they were like, look, it has to be rated, because if it's not rated, it's not going to go into many theaters. And he's like, unrated or nothing. And they were like, well, then it's going to be or nothing. And finally he was like, fine, we'll give our stupid R rating. And it's like, look, man, you know the fucking drill. Like, you're not going to get an unrated movie into anything.
Yeah, you would think that he would have learned his lesson with Dawn of the Dead, because same fucking that wasn't the same thing, but like he kind of like insisted on being like, well, no, we're gonna release this movie as I intended it to be, and really, it's like all he wanted to do was just include some really explicit gore scenes in it.
And I am all for integrity. Like I prize that above most things, but not at the expense of your entire project. Like, that seems like shooting yourself in the foot. Just, to kind of be a little petulant.
Yeah. The tragic part is that if George had chosen to make Day of the Dead first instead of Night Riders, he would have had the budget he needed to make the movie he wanted to make.
No,
but when Night Riders
needed those motorcycles.
When Night Riders flopped and Creepshow earned only a modest box office return, the conditions at UFDC changed and the budget shrunk. Though, according to George, the only things they lost when the budget changed was a bunch of big action scenes. They still ended up making the movie he intended to make, which I'm going to tell you what, you can read that script online.
With a 200 and something page one?
Not that one. The one that came after that, when he trimmed it down. It is not the same fucking movie. It's not like he trimmed out a bunch of action scenes. That is a way different movie. And I'm a little bummed that we will never get to see that one, because the script is cool as hell.
Well, and one of the big compromises they made on budget was the location. And I think that I would not minimize that. I think that really does kind of hurt them a little bit, but because originally they wanted like this big fortress surrounded like a giant, electric fence and shit. And obviously without the money, they couldn't do it. And so they had to take it underground. Well, they didn't have to, but they did take it underground. And I think if you look at, obviously, Night of the Living Dead, very different situation. They had like $100,000. But one of the big selling points, I think, of Dawn of the Dead is the location. There's so much to connect to in the mall, and so much that's visually interesting. I mean, when we talked about a shopping mall, same deal. Like, there's so much to look at, and it really establishes itself in a place and time. And when you take this and put it in a fucking gypsum mine or wherever they are, it really loses something. It's aesthetically not very appealing. And I think it takes away some charm. It helps to ground it when it's in a place that we can all recognize and connect to. When you put it in a big bunker underground, there's not much to look at, and it's real bland.
All right. I mean, I love the setting personally. Also, that the underground complex was part of the original script too.
Yeah, it's just there isn't much to look at, and when your whole movie takes place down there, it's hard to break it up. It's hard to make it kind of like, it's not a dynamic environment to shoot a film in, because no matter where they go, it looks exactly the same. And they don't really go out of their way to make it look any different, with one exception. And that is when they go to John and what's Billy? Is that his name?
Bill, yeah.
When they go to like their little area of the thing, and they sort of decorate it, and you're like, personality, character, because the rest of the scenery doesn't have character. It's just bland. And it is sort of, it fits with the larger kind of tone of the film. There's a lot that has to do with like the military complex and all of this, and that works. but it's visually not interesting to look at. And so that it's hard to look at just that for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Initial horror fan reactions to the movie were pretty negative. It's, admittedly languid and talky. The performances are uniformly over the top. And it's sorely lacking in the action precedent that Dawn set for it. The original script delivered in a much bigger way than Dawn ever did, and paired with Savini's special effects, it could have really been something. He described it as Gone with the Wind with zombies.
I wonder, too, if this is an issue of, like, when a band puts out, like, a first album, and it's, like, fucking banger after banger.
Oh, sure, yeah. Appetite for Destruction versus Use Your Illusion.
Right, and then they put out a second album, and you're like, oh, this one's really not nearly as good. It's like, yeah, because they had 10 years to think about that first one, and 10 months to think about the second one. It might be a bit of an issue of that, because I don't think that Night of the Living Dead really counts in the progression in this way. Like, you could tell he really put a lot of thought and care into Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Because
this one was like, if you want to make monies with you, like if you want us to sort of heap cash upon you, you got to make a Day. You got to make a Day of the Dead movie, and right. He was like, okay.
And so it feels rushed into, like, you get a lot. So it's not the fact that there's so much talking that bothers me. It's that there's so much talking and so little character development throughout the whole thing. Like, Dawn of the Dead, we meet these people at a particular point in time, and then we sort of watch their relationships and their identities evolve until the very end. In this, we meet these people at a particular point in time, and they are exactly who they are at the end of the movie. They never change. They never grow. We never really get to like them. We learn nothing about them, and we don't really care about them. And so when you have so much talking and so much dialogue and not a lot of action, you have all this talking and nothing comes of it. So it's just a lot of shouting and tension back and forth. And I think, again, that sort of points to that, like, he didn't really know where to go with this. And that's evident in the fact that there was 4 scripts that he just kept tossing around because he didn't really know which direction to go. It feels a little directionless.
The first one that he submitted was 200 pages, which is like, in screen time, it's like 3.5 hours long.
Of what?
I don't know. The eventual shooting script that they landed on was 88 pages.
That's more reasonable.
And so, like, everything in that.
Because what's the movie? The movie's like 100 minutes.
140 minutes.
Of this movie? 100?
Not 140 minutes. Not hour and 40.
Yes. So yeah, and that's much more reasonable.
Yeah, and then during production they added more stuff in so that we got a little bit more Bub, because Bub originally was barely in the movie.
Because he is one of the elements of the movie that really do make it more interesting.
He's the memorable. There's a reason they put him on the poster. He's like the memorable quality of the movie. Like,
and he's kind of an anchor of the film. And because one of the things that really bugs me is that there's a certain point in the movie where the question is sort of posed, okay, if they don't need to eat, then what is driving them to kill? And so it poses this really interesting question, very compelling, and then it doesn't really answer it or really even try to answer it.
You definitely, that he was trying to get somewhere with that, but just didn't really give it the thought,
Right. And I feel like that's kind of consistent throughout this whole movie, is that there's a lot of idea and not a lot of thought or care that goes into it. There's a lot of thought and care that goes into the gore and the action when it happens. And that's what I mean when I say it feels like he leans a little too much on that, because there's not enough story to carry this whole movie, which is amazing considering how much fucking dialogue there is.
Yep. So that subtext, if you consider that the zombies in this movie are incidental at best, and the thoughtful scientists are trying to come up with a creative approach to the zombies that are being pushed around by artless thugs with guns, and nothing but rushed but open-ended timetables, Romero's frustration with the money side of film comes through pretty clearly in this one.
There's also maybe something to be said for the era that it's taking place in. This is middle of the 80s, middle of that sort of saber-rattling Cold War Reagan era.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's no mistake that it takes place in a missile silo.
There's the obvious influence of that. But they don't even really explain that very much. That's another one of my sort of big gripes is you know, we go back and forth between the scientists, the tension between the scientists and the soldiers. And it's like, you know, I'm taking over here. There's a lot of masculine bullshit, which, you know, fits the era for sure. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but you wouldn't even be there if it weren't for the scientists. And if you're like, well, then we're pulling the plug on this. Well, it's like, then just fucking go. Like you're not really there protecting anything at that point.
Yeah. You don't got to bring them with you or anything like that. Just
yeah.
leave.
So there's like not a lot. There's a lot of this, like, I'm taking over. I'm in charge now. And it's like, well, in charge of what? They're the reason you're here. If you don't want to be here, you can just leave.
Yeah, his stated intention was that the movie is really about the sort of the kind of living in America in the 80s under Reagan. There's a breakdown of common values, a sort of class of compassionate Eloi coexisting in a nation full of sort of jingoistic Morlocks who like live underground. And
I wonder what that's like.
You're right. You know, it really is like it is really kind of evergreen, right?
Yes, please see X-Files, our X-Files show.
Artistic integrity aside, Romero's insistence on creative control and max gore resulted in an unrated movie that UFDC struggled to book. It opened on the same day as Back to the Future, which makes sense that the Stranger Things kids are sneaking into it in the first episode of season 3. But there's also no way in hell that this movie played anywhere near Hawkins. The resulting the performance netted 1/3 of the box office of Dawn of the Dead on a budget 6 times higher.
Yeah, it did not do well. I mean, eventually it did, but it made its money back. But
oh, sure. Like, I mean, you know, obviously we're still talking about it. It's my favorite of the bunch because, you know, of pure aesthetics and just like ridiculous characterization. But like, your criticism is valid. It's a deeply, deeply flawed movie.
And I think part of it too is coming on the heels of a movie that is, I think, superior in every way, but it was also just very thoughtfully made. And that resonated with a lot of people, even like, you know, the fucking crankiest of critics were like, well, I got to give it to him. It's a good movie. And so when people went into this, they were like, what the fuck is this? Come on. Yeah. It's kind of like my thoughts on when we saw Bring Her Back. I was like, well, it sort of feels like you didn't really know what to do. So you just did something.
Yeah, it's the what is it? The kind of the sophomore curse.
Yeah.
So the missile silo and lift were real decommissioned nuclear weapons bases located near Pittsburgh. I looked it up, and I believe that the location is now a brewery.
Hey, all right.
It's called Grist House.
Okay.
Yeah. The underground complex is a former limestone mine near Pittsburgh called the Wampum Underground.
Hate that.
Well, the town is called
I know. I don't like that either, for what it's worth.
By the time the production caught up to it, it was being used as a storage facility, and I believe it is still used for that purpose.
What else do you do?
Right? John Amplis plays the third scientist, Fisher. He's also in Dawn of the Dead, playing the brown-faced leader of the tenement resistance.
Yikes.
At the beginning of Dawn of the Dead, he is also the titular Martin in Romero's vampire movie. I put that in quotes.
And I will say, he is... I know he's not an actor. He's great in Martin. He's fine in this too.
I think he's good in this too. Yeah.
I do not care for him in brownface. I find that offensive.
it's
and
so
I am not
weird.
Puerto Rican, but I still find it
so
offensive.
Weird, man. It's so weird
because it's so right in your face.
It is because it's pretty brown.
Yeah, that is Soul Man makeup. What that is.
Yep. Bob was originally way more capable, but in far less of the movie. There was a scene in the original script where he was positioned on a shooting range. In that original script, the zombies are armed.
So he's basically whatever the guy in the last one is. The zombie who's like in charge of them. Or not, maybe not the last one. Maybe that's what's the Dennis Hopper one?
In Land of the Dead. Big Daddy, the big sort of poster zombie for sure. In the original script, he's positioned on a shooting range. He draws a gun like a Western gunfighter and shoots a paper target with incredible accuracy. Romero liked Sherman's performance so much that they just added more scenes for him.
He is great. I mean, he's
fucking fantastic.
He's sort of the heart and soul of the picture, you might say.
Which is wild because I've met Howard Sherman and he fucking sucked. He was very rude. He was one of those guys who had no business being in doing cons. He took my Day of the Dead DVD, And he hastily wrote his name on it, and he took my money, and then he literally threw the disc back at me.
Wow.
Didn't say a word to me.
You said, thank you.
He was in
You're welcome.
He was in a bad mood.
This is why I don't go to these things. This is why I don't give a shit about celebrities. Just be in a movie. I don't need your name on something. Unless, of course, your name is John Carpenter.
There you go.
In which case, you can put your name on stuff for me.
Yeah. Zombie cast members were paid $1 for their time and were given a copy of the newspaper from the beginning of the movie and a hat that said, "I was a zombie in Day of the Dead." I was beginning to think that these hats didn't actually exist, as I'd never actually seen one before, but I did eventually find one on a horror memorabilia collector's site. They are exceedingly rare. It is a white painter's cap with the words silk screened on it. And then a second hat was made for the cave crew, which says Day of the Dead Bat hat. Given how much I have seen on eBay, like Day of the Dead memorabilia, you can buy like continuity Polaroids that were taken on the set, so from day to day, you get your costume right, you get your makeup right and all that stuff. Take a guess on how much one of those costs.
Just for the Polaroid?
A single Polaroid.
$100.
$250.
That's ridiculous.
So I can't imagine what one of these hats
Look,
costs.
I am someone who loves throwing away money on dumb shit. I wouldn't do it.
No, I would love the press kit. I would absolutely love to have the press kit.
Well, you should keep an eye on that fucking auction site. That's where you'll find it.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Spike Lee's DP, Ernest Dickerson, did second unit on this in the Florida shots.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise it's just like fucking the usual motley crew of people.
Yeah.
Who's like doing the soundtrack and making sandwiches at the same time.
Right. Speaking of doing the soundtrack and something else, music is by John Harrison, who was doing double duty as the movie's first AD. And
John Harrison, I will say, is he a good composer? No. Is he capable? Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah. I like the soundtrack to this.
It's fine. It's a little silly.
I think the expectations that Dawn of the Dead set put up against this movie, it's like, what the fuck is this music?
Oh yeah, no, that's not hard at all.
But I otherwise I like it. It's synthy.
You can tell though that he's not a professional musician. Like it just has a very like boop 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 vibe to it.
Yep, scored on a Prophet 5 like John Carpenter used.
Well, someone was a better musician.
The closing song, "The World Inside Your Eyes," which is over the credits.
Oh, you mean love theme from Day of the Dead?
Love through Day of the Dead.
Love theme for Sarah.
Sung by a dude named Sputsy Sparacino.
I love the name so much. It's gonna be my nom de plume.
Oh boy,
Sputsy.
That's fucking amazing. I know. So I suppose we gotta get this over with. I want to hear the press savage my poor Day of the Dead.
Okay. Here we go. Janet Maslin, the old gray lady herself.
Oh my God, they subjected like real reviewers to this movie.
Oh yeah. Day of the Dead is on the talky side, but it doesn't neglect to show off Mr. Romero's scare tactics. Yes, there are enough spilled guts and severed limbs to satisfy the bloodthirstiest fan, but these moments tend to be clustered together, and a lot of the film is devoted to windy argument. But it still affords Mr. Romero the opportunity for intermittent philosophy and satire without compromising his reputation as the grisliest guy around.
Okay, that's a pretty mild review.
Yeah, she thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who next? Desmond Ryan, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Some critics claim to find a satiric intention, but all I saw was a beheading, cannibalism, and a general pandering to the zombies who get their kicks watching graphic murders. Romero is essentially repeating the ideas of his first two movies, but has tried to inject a debate between soldiers and scientists. It's a very,
Again, they're really kind of shitty about horror movie fans, too.
Yeah. Not surprising at all.
Yeah.
Speaking of being shitty about horror movie fans, here's the Gene Genie.
Oh, no.
Day of the Dead is bankrupt in terms of imagination. All Romero does is place his zombies in the basement of a missile silo and have a few crazed military types scream at the zombies and at each other. Romero's non-zombie movies have not succeeded at the box office, so it's not surprising he tried to score with another Walking Dead picture. But he didn't make any extra effort to place his curiously sad creatures in either any special environment or alongside any fresh characters. Loath as I am to agree with Gene Siskel, I kinda have to on this one.
Oh.
Well, let's go to his counterpart, Ms. Roger Ebert. Chicago Sun-Times. Now, keep in mind, Roger Ebert loved Dawn of the Dead. And this is Roger Ebert, Dave the Dead. In the earlier films, we really identified with the small cadre of surviving humans. They were seen as positive characters, and we cared about them. This time, the humans are mostly unpleasant, violent, insane, or so noble that we can predict with utter certainty that they will survive. According to the mad scientist in Day of the Dead, the zombies keep moving because of the primitive impulses buried deep within their spinal columns. Impulses that create the appearance of life long after consciousness and intelligence have departed. I hope the same fate doesn't befall Romero's zombie movies. He should quit while he's ahead.
That quit while he's ahead thing, I kind of agree, because I mean George does, and I think that he eventually folded and spent the last few movies of his life chasing something that he had kind of lost along the way,
and it sucks,
never really quite getting there.
It sucks because you see this with people like John Carpenter, where it's like you didn't go into this wanting to be this guy, but as it happened, you are now this guy. And it's such a double-edged sword because on one hand, it's like you're successful for something, but on the other hand, it's like a thing you don't want to be locked into. And so Romero tried to break out and just couldn't. And so even when he tried to make horror movies, people were still kind of like, yeah, but what if you tried to make some of those zombie movies again, eh? Maybe those would be good. And he was just like, eventually he must have just been like, fine. It's kind of like how eventually John Carpenter was like, fine, we'll go back to Halloween, I guess.
Well, he did get a kind of taste for it with the Resident Evil commercial.
Yes.
And then getting kind of roped into that Resident Evil movie. So obviously,
and then, getting replaced by the worst of.
At the same time, I've read that script as well. I don't think it would have been a very good movie either.
No, and I think that's kind of the thing is like maybe we overestimate I don't want to say talents because I think he does have some good ideas, but like maybe we overestimate the abilities of people or the capacity to actually get something done. And so it makes sense that they'd be like, I don't know, I just want to do a thing that people will be receptive to.
Yeah.
And
I've read a couple of his scripts. And he is definitely an ideas guy. His stuff looks way cooler on the page than it comes out.
Well, and you can see that you can see it in Martin. Martin is a very interesting movie. It's a fascinating movie. Is it a good movie? Not really. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
I really enjoy it, but I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
That I think he pulls off with limited resources.
Oh boy, that one is the most limited of resources for sure too. Of his non-zombie movies, that might be my favorite.
I think of his movies, that might be I think Dawn of the Dead is my favorite, but that might be my second favorite because I think it's quite good. Well, hey, let's go to the last one I've got here. This is the greatest lady of all, the IMDb user.
Oh no.
My friends and I rented this movie from the recommendations that if we liked Resident Evil, we'd like this. Man, was that wrong. We sat through incredibly long and pointless scenes of people screaming at each other. We ended up fast-forwarding through most of the movie because we couldn't stand it anymore. Then how would you know you didn't like it? Right? I will give credit to Bub the Zombie for the most entertainment out of this whole experience. Bah.
So wait. Because we liked Resident Evil, the movie, or the...
My guess is going to be the movie.
Listen, look, I know you really like those movies, but if we're starting...
those movies are garbage.
If we're starting from, boy, we loved Resident Evil, your taste is...
I love those movies because they're garbage. They're ridiculous action movies. But I will say, of all of the three movies, This one has the most Resident Evil-iness to it. Like, you can see the influence of this on Resident Evil, whereas I don't think you can on the other ones.
No, there's a lot of running to and fro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in the opening.
The whole science angle.
Yeah. So this person, you just have bad taste. You're going to have to accept that. You're probably from Florida. No, apologies if you're listening in Florida, but you get what I mean, right?
Yeah, this is probably from that girl that fucking came into the record store that one time who was like, everybody was like, hey, you need to talk to Bryan if you like horror movies because he'll recommend some good stuff. And I went over and I was like, well, there's this one. She's like, oh, I saw the remake of that. Is it any good? And I was like, well, yeah, it's fucking fantastic. And she's like, oh, but it was made in the 70s. And I was like, well, yeah, it was made in the 70s. Is that a problem? She's like, yeah, it's old.
Well, yeah. The 70s were a while ago.
She came in raving about how great the remake of The Hitcher was. And I was like, oh, you should try out the original Hitcher. And she
Turns
was like,
out she shouldn't.
I was like, yeah. She was like, when was that made? In like the 80s. And she was like, oh, no, thanks.
And you're like, are you sure? It's a pretty gay movie.
That probably would have turned her off, though.
These kids. You know, I'm not going to say in her defense, but in defense of the moment, we did work there during what is easily the worst era for horror films.
Yeah, we did.
And so, you know, it's not entirely on her. She was very resistant when someone was like, hey, maybe you would like to try some good movies. And she was like, well, I don't know. Is it going to be as good as the remake of House of Wax? Except she didn't even know it was a remake. She's like the one with a Paris Hilton vehicle, the star-making Paris Hilton vehicle. And you would say, you know, that whole house is made of peanut butter. And she'd be like, yeah, I know, it was great. And you'd be like, whole house, peanut butter.
Just the whole thing. How do you make a house out of peanut butter?
It's a whole house made of peanut butter.
That's
all I
bad
can
idea.
say for that movie.
Temperature goes up, catches fire, whole thing fucking melts.
It's like, yeah, but it was super good, right? And you're like, peanut butter, whole thing. You know what I mean?
I do. See, if you don't know, subscribe to our Patreon. Go listen to that episode and find out.
Yeah, it was my idea.
It was all Patreon.
I have good ideas.
Yep. All peanut butter.
All Patreon peanut butter. All right, so Patreon time.
So we're gonna dive into this movie right after these messages.
And if you don't want to hear these messages, sign up for Peanut Butter Patreon.
Fucking A, so much value. Mm-hmm. We'll be right back. All right, you ready to do this?
Kick it.
All right, here we go. We open on a woman alone in an empty room. She sits up and notices the one thing in the room, a calendar on the wall. It's Halloween. She reaches out to touch it, but as she does, dozens of zombie hands are up from the wall reaching for her as she turns in horror.
Right through that paper wall.
And wakes up in a helicopter. Yeah, I remember seeing, so there's 3 TV spots, and I remember there was one channel that used to run those before we had cable. And I saw that one on the same channel that was also running the hell out of Return of the Living Dead commercials.
That's got to be... what was 38? WLDI?
WSBK? WSBK.
Yeah,
was
SBK. 38. It's got to be that one.
Oh, no, they were the Tasteful channel. This would have been, I think, V66, which was WAAF's music video channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, also...
A lot of Lita Ford, I bet, on that one.
Oh, this was before Lita Ford. A lot of 80s stuff. 85, 84, 85.
Okay.
Duran.
White Lion.
Still before the hairband stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So the wall was originally pretty shoddy. The first time that they did it, the hands went through. They pushed it over on Laurie.
Did the people.
And most of the actors fell on top of it, crushing her beneath the wall.
But I bet it was hilarious.
So it's her, Sarah. There's an army dude at the end of his rope in the helicopter, the radio operator, and the pilot.
And Romero loves like a squirrely guy. He loves a squirrely helicopter guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we get Billy's looking real squirrely in this. We get another guy too.
Oh, Miguel.
Well, no, we'll get to him in a minute. We get Johnny.
John. Yes, there's John the pilot.
Oh boy. You only got 15 jobs, man. That accent is tough.
Is his name Terry Alexander? I think his name
Terry
is.
Alexander is his name. He is not Jamaican.
When we were watching this the other night in the Discord, the question came up, like, why does he have? Because he's like, he does not have the accent. He's from like Detroit or something like that. And so we're like, why does he have this fucking accent?
Great question.
And apparently Romero just wrote him that way.
Yeah, that's maybe a problem.
Romero loved a stereotype.
He sure did.
Gotta tell you that. Because in the original, so again, going back to that original script that they kind of eventually whittled down to become this movie, it opens with Sarah being among this like a crew of people on a boat, and they're all like Sandinistas for some reason.
Okay, how well do you think George Romero understood any of that?
I think that he was a pretty thoughtful guy. But I mean, they're not okay. I'm not saying
not so thoughtful that he didn't give this guy a Jamaican accent.
They are not. They are not explicitly Sandinistas. It's just that's how they're rebels. They're kind of written. They're all Latino, first of all.
Okay.
And then they're all described. They keep calling them rebels.
Okay.
And so they're
that would have immediately in 1985 it would have immediately called to mind Sandinistas
or Zapatistas or something like that.
Yeah, it's it's also tough because you can tell he was going for consistency in that, like, we get Ben in the first one, and then we get, what's his name in the second one? Peter. And then he's like, so who's going to be my black guy in this one? And it's like, gotta
have a black guy, gotta have a lady.
I know you mean well, but
that's the thing is, I think that his heart is in the right place, but it's that very sort of like
you don't have to, right?
That very well-meaning whiteness that's just like, I gotta give it a little bit of variety, gotta give it some diversity, but then just like your worst fucking characteristics come out.
It's true. It's like you know enough that you want to make a diverse cast, but you don't know enough to learn something about those.
Right,
like
the only Latino people he knows is fucking he saw on like Miami Vice or something.
And the guy in the Miguel is the worst character. He's awful from beginning to end. I have so many notes about how terrible he is.
He's so bad. But let's. So yeah, they're out looking for survivors. They're trying to reach anybody with the radio, but they've seen nothing and found no one. And she plans to have them land to get a better look.
This is a really cool scene. This is probably the best scene in the movie.
Oh, it's so cool. It really is very cool. It gives you a sense of scope.
And it feels like you can tell where that they really just sort of closed off a couple blocks.
Yeah, they closed off a couple of blocks in Fort Myers, Florida. They just like trashed the place up.
But like they did a good job. It feels sort of desolate. It has that Resident, like as soon as I saw this, I was like, this feels like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And then it goes to it takes on a totally different tone. But like this opening scene, fucking killer. It's got an alligator in it. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a real one.
Sarah and Miguel get out of the helicopter and they hit the streets with the bullhorn. Little cute, little tiny bullhorn.
And what's Miguel doing? Just fucking shouting?
Just shouting into the city. Wind whips through the streets, blowing a newspaper against the wall, which reads, "The Dead Walk."
It's real cool.
It is pretty cool. I think I've got that in one of these poster tubes behind me.
I think the Waxwork edition of the soundtrack comes with it.
Yeah. The noise causes the city to stir, but it's not the kind of action these people want. Dozens, hundreds of zombies are attracted to the noise and fill the streets. John the pilot can hear the wailing and moaning over the helicopter blades.
And he's like, we got to get back, man.
I've got to get to my other jobs, man.
I got 17 jobs.
They all return to the copter and fly away. Back at the base, a fenced-in Nike missile base, a bunch of Army guys rush to the landing to get the copter settled and everybody back underground.
And one of them is a real cherubic Greg Nicotero.
Oh, he's so young. He looks so young in here.
And he looks, I mean, I'll be honest, the man looks pretty much the same as he ever has.
I mean, he's looking a little like old Greg Nicotero.
A little less cherubic these days.
Yeah.
I will say with the character of Sarah. So we start out with what's her name, Barbara, in the first one, and then we get Claudine. What the fuck is her name? Francine. Yeah, in the second one. And so he regretted the Barbara character because she's such a whimpering asshole. And he didn't want to like kind of play into that stereotype. And so he sort of makes a more complicated person with Fran. And I think it's pretty successful in that. She has character and dimension, just sort of a interiority to her. And then I think he still felt like he had to keep going. And so he sort of overcorrects with this Sarah character, where she's a little too badass, a little too strong, a little not so normal human.
It is a deliberate director's choice in that, because according to Laurie Cardale, she kept trying to like give this character, like through her performance, give her a little bit of vulnerability, you know,
as any person would have, like gender, you know, regardless of gender.
You know, particularly in the sort of dire straits that they're in, like everybody but her and Fisher, for some reason, he's like the most laid back guy in the apocalypse, but like everybody is coming apart because as far as they know, they're the last living people in the world.
Right.
And so, but like she kept trying to sort of go there and give this character a little dimension, and Romero kept kind of pulling her back.
He's like, tut, little lady. I know. I know.
Listen, I know women, Laurie Cardale.
Well, and the problem is that in doing this, she kind of drifts into becoming another stereotype, which is that of the kind of obnoxious harpy.
Yeah.
Or like that kind of stone cold bitchy woman where it's like, okay, well now
not the original Barbara, but Barbara in the Savini remake of Night of the Living Dead, like when she snaps out of it and sort of turns into this like take charge bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get it, but it's like, all right, you didn't need to go quite so far.
Yeah, it's a little intense. So the fence shakes where dozens of zombies are pressing against it. Sarah tries to help Miguel get out of the copter, but he's coming apart at the seams. He gives her shit for trying to help him. As they head back to the lift to take them underground, Sarah notices a new grave. Major Cooper, the guy who was formerly in charge of the military part of the operation, died this morning while they were out flying around.
Great. Where were you?
They were out flying around.
That's true.
Yeah. When the lift closes, we meet more army dudes. A big guy named Steele rides up on a cart with Rickles, a shifty-looking dude who laughs like a hyena, with orders to head out to the gate and bring 2 more zombies in for experimentation.
And you know immediately, we're just setting you up to be happy when these guys die.
Oh boy, are their deaths awesome.
And the thing, like, because they are, because it's really like a trio. It's going to end up being Rhodes, Rickles, and Steele.
Yeah, because there's other army guys, but
you don't care.
They're barely on screen, and half of them are just the special effects crew.
Yeah, and so you don't care who they are, and like these 3 are classics, like stereotypical bullies. Whereas like you've got your Rhodes is like the leader of the bullies.
Rhodes is the leader. He's the maniac of the bunch. He's a complete fucking psychopath. There's Steele, who's kind of his hatchet man.
Yeah, he's like like toadies is what the other 2 are.
Yeah, and Rickles is just like the guy who just laughs the whole time and sort of eggs his buddies on.
They're the 2 dudes from The Wraith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like, why are you 2 fucking? Is that what this is? Because I got a couple notes where I'm like, is that what's happening here?
God damn it. I love Rickles too.
I hate all 3 of these guys. They
fucking
suck.
So outrageous. His character is so stupid. He presents like the fucking bass player in a thrash band. He's so fucking funny.
I think if Romero had started out this way, this would have been fine. This would have been, a Deodato movie. This would have been, just, you don't give a shit. But because he started out with something more thoughtful, something that has more depth and weight to it, and then he goes into this, it's just sort of like, to me, this feels like a disappointment because I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of these people. I can't stand half of them. And the ones that I can stand, like, whatever.
I sort of get the feeling with this one that is he was trying to go for something a little bit more, like he was trying to sort of clash his modern sensibilities where, super gore, but put it up against like a classic monster movie where there's the mad scientist and there's the sort of his Igors, essentially.
And we're also running into the Rambo era where it's like big action movie type of bullshit. And so he's probably got to contend with that a little bit as well. I don't know. To me, it's just a combination that doesn't work. I find them all sort of abhorrent to watch. I'm like, I don't fucking care about any of you. I hope you all die.
As it would happen, this operation is working out of a sprawling series of tunnels underground. It stores all manner of stuff like boats and RVs, but at the far end of the complex is a large wooden gate and a fence. So Sarah urges Miguel not to participate, but Rickles and Steele don't care, and Miguel is worried he'll look like a pussy.
Yeah, Miguel is a giant liability. Also, he's a misogynist who sucks.
Steele climbs up on the fence and starts shouting into the darkness to lure them out. A lot of giggling and joking around about big dicks.
Yeah, so this is the weird part, because, Steele's like, I got the biggest piece of meat and whatever, but then, Rickles gets into it. He's just like, yeah, you got a big dick, and I was like, wait, what? That's not a thing friends do. Is it?
Yeah, fucking A, biggest piece of meat in the cave.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of straight friends, but I'm talking about their dicks with them.
Yeah, you do, buddy. I know you got a big dick.
That's weird.
Biggest one around.
That'd be real weird. They all know it. We all know it.
But also, Rickles is right next to Sarah in this scene, and he is screaming into her ear about this guy's dick.
This must have been awful to film this movie. You're in a fucking cave for 3 months.
Yeah. The zombies approach. They pull one in zombie in, and they perform a series of moves to hitch her up to some poles so they can move her around at a distance. Miguel drops the pole and she advances on Rickles, but
yeah, Miguel's got a real I got the hot soup, everybody, look out. Just hold on to it. It's all you gotta do.
Banana cream pies.
Seriously. He's like, oh, my hands are real slippery.
Sweaty palms, apparently.
He's the worst. He's such an asshole about it, too.
And the thing is, he's so effeminate, too.
And so my issue with Miguel is that eventually his story kind of unfolds a little bit. But she's like, oh, he's so exhausted, he's so burned out, and that's why everything's so dangerous. It's I don't know. He takes a nap and he's still an asshole.
Right.
So as far as I can tell, he's kind of just been a dick the whole time.
Yeah, he's like a toddler.
Yeah, he's a fucking bitch this entire movie.
Yeah. So Steele grabs Miguel in a rage and presses him down toward the waiting zombie in the pen as Sarah draws her weapon on him and has him let him go so they can finish the job. And then they deliver them to a laboratory and chain them up to a wall. And the thing I love about it is they're freak out zombies, super agitated, and then they chain them up and then they shut the lights off and immediately they stop and they're
like cockatoos.
They're like children, or babies who are the lights are off. Oh,
yeah,
so
when
scared.
you put a blanket over a toddler's head and they go to sleep. Right?
That's sure. No. Back in their bunk, Sarah prepares a sedative for Miguel, but he grabs it and throws it.
Calls her a bitch.
She made him look like an asshole out there.
You made you look like an asshole, bitch. God damn it. Because she's the one who's she made you look like an asshole. You almost got everybody killed.
He slaps her a couple of times, and then, realizing that he is totally out of control, he tries to hug her. She uses the opportunity to hit him with the sedative.
I would have put it right in his neck. Apparently, it was not convincing the first few times, and she was like, you're going to have to actually hit me.
Yeah. Good God. As an actor, that would be so fucking hard to do.
Well, that's why.
If my partner was just like, no, you got to really hit me, I'd be like, I don't think I can do that.
I'd be like, all right. Been dying to do this for a week now.
So out in the main room, Fisher, a second scientist, is complaining to Captain Rhodes, the new guy in charge, that the current conditions are unsuitable for their work. He doesn't care, though. Also, it's not like he can do much about it.
I would say, if anything, Fisher is the one he almost feels superfluous. We're never quite sure what his role in all of this. Obviously he's a scientist, but he never is defined.
He's so chill throughout the whole movie. Everybody else is we
never really know,
freaked out, and he's just listen, man, we just need to come together, and we need the equipment. And then Rhodes is like, I don't have anything to give you.
And so maybe that's why he just was never much of an actor, and I don't think he ever really wanted to be. I think he just sort of ended up in Romero's movies.
Yeah.
But you're just sort of oh, and the other guy. Sort of and all the rest here on Gilligan's Island.
Right. Yeah. Sarah is urging for cooperation between the two factions. Also, Miguel is in rough shape. He is exhausted and is dangerous in his current condition. Rhodes won't have it. He's short on manpower. Sarah, being the only woman in the group, is in a perilous spot. She seems to have a relationship with Miguel for some reason.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
He's human garbage.
It is the one thing that it is as much of my sort of my critical sensibilities that I'm willing to suspend for this movie that I've loved since I was like 12. This is a part of the movie that I just cannot fucking get my head around.
Well, and that, it's one more aspect of this story that doesn't make sense. It's like you didn't need to do this because it doesn't really play much of a role in it. Like, you could just be friends. You could be fucking happy coworkers or whatever. Like, you don't have to be the relationship between Fran and Flyboy, whatever his fucking name is, Peter? No,
Roger.
Roger.
The
relationship between them makes sense. It's a part of the story. And it feels like he was like, well, I got to have her be in a relationship with somebody. It's like, you don't actually. She can just be a scientist. Yeah. A lady scientist? Get the fuck out of here.
What'll they think of next?
Next, she's going to be a doctor.
This doesn't translate very well in this movie since we only ever see him in a hysterical state. Rhodes thinks it might be time
and he will literally try to murder them all for no reason at the end.
Yeah, right, yeah. Rhodes thinks it might be time for the rest of the men to get a shot at her. It's pretty fucked up.
Again, it all feels very much like, well, what would the terrible thing be? It's like, man, you don't have to do that.
So they leave after he declares an all-hands meeting tonight. Sarah and Fisher head to the labs to see what Dr. Logan has been up to. Logan is the lead researcher in whatever it is that they're doing down here. And when they find them, he's dictating his notes over a body under a sheet. Sarah enters and is almost grabbed by a chained specimen against the wall, Bub, who we'll meet later. Logan is manic, a classic horror movie mad scientist tuned up for the expectations of a 1980s horror movie audience.
He has like a little bit of a Aunt Martha from Sleepaway Camp vibe, where he's like, no, that won't do it all.
He got all these things tied around his fingers so he wouldn't forget.
Yeah, he's like constantly sort of like almost making comments to himself.
I love it. I fucking love it.
He's a good character.
He really is. His hair is a mess and his clothes are bloodstained. Everything in this lab is bloodstained, actually. One specimen strapped down to a table bites at his fingers as he demonstrates that the zombies are acting on pure instinct. He demonstrates over an open stomach cavity that he's disconnected its digestive system entirely, and yet it still tries to eat.
Great. You ever gonna try to answer that one for us?
He uncovers another body on the table, revealing that most of the neck and skull have been removed, and he cut away most of the brain that deals with instinct to demonstrate that in this state it would be quite docile. It is a rad as hell special effect.
It's pretty cool. We'll get another one a little bit later that's also pretty cool.
Yeah, the guy on the table, the actor, because it's a live actor, it's not just like a rubber body, is laying in such a way that his head is bent way fucking back into this like cavity in the table, and they have built around it like the back part of the head and like the spinal column and like a little bitty part of his brain.
I feel like they did this in something else that we watched not that long ago that was a Savini effect. Like he either recreated it or he created it and then recreated it here. I can't remember what it was, but it was a very similar thing where they had to lay that way.
Yeah. God, that must have been so fucking uncomfortable. So, he is amazed by his discoveries. Sarah is less than enthusiastic. They're down here trying to find some way to stop or reverse the plague, but he's down there performing esoteric experiments that are wildly impractical.
Well, here's another problem with Sarah, I think, that bugs me, is like we never know, like we get that Logan is the mad scientist. Sarah, it's unclear which side she falls on, because she's like, I'm a badass with a machine gun, but I'm also a doctor. But we never see her doing doctory stuff. We just see her doing machine gun stuff.
Well, right, because there are a couple of scenes where she is doing research stuff, but the thing is that her research is is going nowhere. It's amounting to nothing because nobody can understand what is animating the bodies. Whereas
I guess maybe we needed more of that. Like we needed,
I guess
you're going to have all this fucking talking in it, at least have it amount to something.
Because Logan's is way more presentational, you know.
Yes, it's very theatrical.
Right. Where hers is like literally just like looking at charts, looking at blood samples.
And we could like, some frustration, something to let us know that she is actually on, like, because we really understand what everyone else's role is here. Yeah. We don't, hers is sort of poorly defined. And so it's hard to really see, like, because the factions that they're all a part of are a part of the story. And to know what her faction is would be helpful, but we don't really understand that.
Right. She's kind of caught in the middle, I suppose. Because it's not really clear what Fisher's doing either.
That's what I mean. It's like Fisher's another character that's sort of poorly defined. And that's a problem of writing. It's a problem of direction.
Yeah. So yeah, Sarah notices an army jacket on the floor with the name Cooper on the chest. He cut up Major Cooper to do this.
Well, hey, if I were in this situation, I'd be like, you do what you got to do. If I'm dead, go for it.
I'm not using this body anymore.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Yeah.
If you think I might need it, then don't. If I'm just sleeping.
Listen, if I'm sleeping, don't cut my body up.
Right. Otherwise, it's all yours.
Yeah. As they argue, the restrained zombie sits up, breaking its restraints. It leans over to get up, and as it does this, its guts fall out of the open stomach cavity.
Pretty gross.
Logan, it's fucking awesome. This is one of my favorite of all of them. It's just so disgusting. Logan casually rushes over with a drill and drills into its forehead to put it down. Bob looks...
here's the thing about this. And maybe this is a thing this is what separates horror fans from everybody else who's not a horror fan. There are times when I want to watch Italian cannibal movies because I want to watch people get ripped apart in this silly kind of cinematic way. I'm not a violent person. But there's something cathartic about being like, I just want to watch this cartoonish violence.
Yeah.
Because it is cathartic to be like, good, thank God. This is that. And so I don't understand when people look at this and they're like, this is disgusting. And it's like, yeah, that's the point.
Right.
To be disgusted. It's fun to be disgusted. It's fun to be horrified. It's fun to be grossed out by stuff. It's not like people look at, there are some people that look at it and they're like, yeah, that's really awesome. Like, oh, that's stupid. But like, it's funny. It's fun.
It's the common theme of those reviewers who are always have a little bit of judgmental bullshit in their reviews of the movies
because they see themselves as above that.
Right? Yeah.
Because none of us are above that.
It's grimy and it's gross, but like most of us just enjoy it for the craft, for the shock, for the sort of the creativity of it. Like again, it's fucking cathartic. Again, it's the degree and explicitness of the violence and gore in this movie that I think puts it above the others in my opinion.
Yeah,
it delivers in ways that very few horror movies do.
And I will say that is one of the things that was consistent in the reviews. A lot of them were like, if you go into this wanting this type of movie, you will get that and then some.
Yeah.
If you go into this wanting Dawn of the Dead, you'll probably be disappointed, which explains why I'm disappointed with it. It's like, that's not what I'm looking for.
Right.
At least not in this movie.
At the end of the day, that is, in my assessment of the movie, that is kind of all that it's got.
That's pretty much all you're going to get. And I can appreciate it for that. I look at this and see this is a technical achievement.
Yeah.
And they're working in a very difficult environment to shoot a film in. There's a lot of things I appreciate about it, but when I come to these movies, that's not what I want. I can get that in Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's sort of like, I can get it, and I don't go into Cannibal Holocaust expecting a character piece.
Right. In Savini sort of explains how he does this effect, because like they did certain takes of this where like the zombie sort of tips over and the guts just kind of go just like splat right out of it. And so that's not the effect that they wanted. And so what they did was they built this like rubber intestine inside the cavity and then wrapped real pig guts around it so that when he turned over, they like slid out of the cavity.
Well, did you ever watch that show Face Off on Sci-Fi?
No, I never watched that.
It's a pretty cool show. And one of the things that they're pretty consistent about throughout the whole show is when they have like the kind of like technical advisors come around, they will constantly be like, you have to look at how a body is, like how it is sort of built and what it is made of and what muscles do and what they look like, because that is when you are sort of designing a gore effect. That will dictate, like what an actual body is, will dictate how that gore would really realistically happen.
Yeah.
And so that's why sometimes when you see like, especially in lower budget movies and older lower budget movies, it just looks a little bit silly because it's like, where did that come from? That's not.
Oh, right. Right. Like, what is it in Dr. Butcher, the one where they kill the zombie with the fucking boat motor.
Yes.
And the head just kind of like comes apart into like all of these like wax pieces.
Yeah. So they're constantly like, you have to remember how a body is made. Like it's not all these like pieces and internal, muscles and skeletal systems. That's going to dictate how this actually would work.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that I think Tom Savini kind of was keen to initially because he understood that. Whereas I think earlier on they were like, I don't know, just make it spray blood.
The big thing, the big sort of, I think one of the big upgrades for this one, because this movie's special effects are a mega upgrade over his previous stuff. And as much as they are just assistants, I know that Nicotero and Berger came to this and they brought some of their own sort of techniques with it. And so like when they do things like a zombie will bite and will pull away, there's like in previous movies, they've done that, but it's just meat getting kind of pulled away from a limb.
Right.
In this
literal
one,
hamburger.
What they were doing was they would like take the rubber, the silicone rubber, and they would like roll them up into like tendons and stuff like that and attach them inside of it so that when they bit, blood and meat, but also like tendons and shit would rip away. It looks way more realistic.
Well, there's a part later on where someone's head is getting pulled off and his voice is getting higher and that is very clever. That's very, very cool.
One of my favorite kills of all time. Yeah.
Like they're not just, yes, they are technically good, but they're also very creative and that's why they are the best of the best still today. Like, you have Stan Winston and then them, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And which is really wild because I was thinking about that because like at the time that they were making this movie, there's Stan Winston, there's Rob Bottin, there's Rick Baker, and these guys are all.
And I wouldn't put Rob Bottin on the same level as those two.
Oh, I think he's fantastic.
I think he's good, but I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's Stan Winston good.
He did The Thing.
Yeah. He did.
But God damn it. But at the same time, like those guys, they're working out of Hollywood. They're way too expensive for a George Romero movie. Tom Savini was cheap. He was fast. He was available. But, while Baker and Bottin and those guys were still working, like the guys who came out of Savini's studio eventually are the ones who go on to sort of define the state of the art. It's amazing.
And those are the people that you can tell they're really passionate about this and they really want to be good and be as good, be at the best that they can be. And it turns out that that's the best in the industry eventually.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So at the meeting now, Steele puts Bill to the third degree about his failure to find anybody on the radio. His complaint is similar to the science team. The equipment's no good. And with power and communication infrastructures failing, it's the best they have.
What I like about this scene is they're all sitting in their cliques.
Yeah.
So you've got Bill and John are sitting in sort of one area. The science, I think it's just the Sarah and the other guy, and then the soldiers are on there, but they're all sitting separate from each other in different parts of the room.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
So Sarah gets up to leave, having enough of the bickering, and Rhodes tells her to sit down. He wants to know what they're doing down there. She turns to leave and he threatens to have her shot if she doesn't sit down. Rhodes orders Steele to shoot her, and he plays like he's going to shoot her, but then Rhodes turns his gun on Steele, and a tense standoff ensues when Steele relents and Sarah sits down.
I don't like this part. I think this is underplayed. And this could have been a bigger moment.
There is actually, there's a moment in this one that I like is when she's getting up to leave and everybody starts yelling at one another all at once. And Rhodes is like, all right, everybody shut up. And he turns and there's this beat and Steele takes a can of beer and throws it like out of frustration.
Yes.
Fucking love that scene.
Yeah. I think this scene could have been bigger and more. There's more tension. It just doesn't come to much.
Yeah,
because then in walks the sort of comedic relief.
Oh yeah, he breaks the tension. It's fantastic. So Rhodes airs his complaints. He sees no point in any of this and just wants to shoot them all. And then Logan,
which again, it's like, dude, you could just fucking leave. Like, you're not. Nobody's telling you to stay here.
Yeah, take your armory, get the fuck out of here.
Just some assholes. Fucking go.
Yeah. So Logan casually enters late. He argues,
and still covered in blood, which is my favorite. And then he sits down and is like, "Where's the food?"
Yeah. Oh, is there food?
He's like a proper morgue attendant.
He argues that there's no point in trying to kill them all. Could you possibly hope to blow the piss out of them? All of them?
And I think one of the reasons I like him a lot is that he's goofy and he's a little bit funny. He's the one he is a character, you know?
Yeah.
And he's got the most personality, but he's also one of the few who seems able to put Rhodes in his place by just being like, all right, well, what are you going to do then? Where are you going to go? Who are you? You can't just shoot them. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
And so there's great. And he just, maybe if he had more time or if he had more money, he could have leaned into these aspects and sort of made a better, not a character study, but, more character to the film.
Sure. Yeah.
I would have liked more of that.
The one constant between all the drafts of the script is Logan was always like this.
Yeah. It would have been nice to see, because we never see them as people. Like, what are the worlds they have built for themselves in this weird fucking tunnel?
Well, we do kind of see the world that Logan has built for himself in the tunnel through the playback of some of his notes later on.
Well, that's the thing, is we do actually see it a little bit with Logan, and we see it with John and Bill, but like, that's it. We don't know. And for all we know, they've been down there for God knows how long. Like, you would have built something for yourself. You would have had to build a world, and we never see that among any of them.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's kind of a no-win situation, though, because given how sort of talky this movie is, if you just added more talking to give it some dimension,
well, and that's what I meant about
way longer.
That's what I meant about the mall in the last one. The mall is something we can see them just grabbing things, and by seeing what they're grabbing, we're getting this sort of detail. We're getting this, this kind of material look into their lives.
Oh, sure, yeah, that montage in the middle of Dawn of the Dead, where they're just like raiding the stores, and they're even like taking money out of the bank.
Right, and that's what I kept going back to watching this. I was like, if we just need something very simple like that, where we can just get a little bit of insight into who they are as people, that makes it easier to connect with them, and it makes them, it makes their goodness and their badness have a little more weight to it, rather than just being like, oh, you're stereotypes, and I know you're all going to die, and I don't care.
Yeah,
and that's why, like, we attach to John and Bill, because when we go to their little kind of island oasis, it's like, it's fun, it speaks to their character, and it makes us like them more. It gives us something to latch on to. Whereas these other guys, it's like, I don't know, you're a rapist? That's your thing? That's your character, I guess?
Yeah, it's your entire personality.
Like, I don't need a lot. It's just, it seems like there's a lot of rushing here, and I would have liked more of that sort of like something I can look at and be like, I get who you are, and now I'm on board now.
Yeah. Okay, I give you that. He says that they outnumber us 400,000 to 1 based on his calculations. How he came up with that number is anybody's guess, but it paints a pretty dire picture. So I did the math on this. The estimated world population in 1985 was 4.9 billion. With Logan's estimated ratio of one living person to every 400,000 zombies, that puts the worldwide survivor count at a little over 12,000.
Yeah, you got to be really good with a weapon.
So that meaning that like they could very well be the last living people in America. So Logan,
like if that was the case, that's a big fucking part of your story that you're kind of just breezing by,
right? So Logan seems oblivious to the tension in a way that sends Rhodes, who is at peak rage for the entire movie, through the roof. He slams his fist on the table, shouting perhaps my favorite line from any movie ever.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
That really?
I love it. It's so funny.
You think that's better than, is this not a suitable place to park? We're friends of Debbie, man.
That's also a pretty good one. So,
do you have any more of these plums or other exotic fruits?
So Logan offers up his solution to this hopeless situation. There's too many of them to kill, but if you can make them behave.
Listen, y'all, in case you're curious, that was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and Mystery Train, respectively.
Yep. Yep. So Rhodes is characteristically unimpressed. Logan's vague explanation is inadequate. Logan puts Sarah on the spot to back him up. More arguments ensue, but with no other option, Rhodes gives them more time to work before he gathers up his men and they abandon the station. On the way out of the meeting, John warns Sarah and Fisher that out of everybody in the bunker, they're the most at risk. You know?
Okay.
Hey, just want to let you know, they're not going to kill me because I'm the pilot. No,
which, abandon that.
They're not going to kill Logan because, he's pretty good at talking, but you guys, so he'll kill the shit out of you. So that night, Sarah dreams of Miguel sitting up in bed like the zombie in the lab did. His stomach opens up and his guts spill out.
And so again, we come back to Miguel as this. I don't really know what to make of him as a character because we can't feel bad for him because we never knew him as anything but a whiny piece of shit.
I'm going to give you this because he's the one, he serves no purpose except to sort of set the ending in motion.
Right. His decompensation means nothing to me because I don't know what he was like before that.
Right.
And so I don't even know if this is decompensation because as far as I can tell, he's just an asshole.
And it's puzzling because, like, again, going back to that sort of source script that this movie eventually sort of like was whittled down to, Miguel dies in the first 15 minutes. He's in it, but he dies. And there are characters in that script who are interesting and good, and they all get chopped out in place of this kind of question mark.
And we, again, I know it's not fair to keep comparing this to his previous film, but I think because it is sort of a continuation of a story, there is something to be said for that. We get these characters that have a lot of flaws. Like one of the things that pretty much sets off the invasion of the mall by the biker gang is that, what's his face? Roger? No, Roger's the other guy.
Yeah.
What is his name?
So we got Fran, Peter, Roger, and
Tim.
Kevin.
I'm calling him Flyboy because that's what he keeps calling him.
Yeah.
But like we understand why he does what he does, even though it has a terrible outcome and sort of like sets them down this awful path. But we get it. We get why he's doing this. We get why, like, even in these circumstances, they can't abandon this sort of acquisitive materialism.
Yeah.
And so we can understand that. In this, I don't understand why any of them are doing anything. It's like Miguel just seems like a fucking jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. He's coming apart. And that's like his entire character is he's the guy who's just, he's the liability, I guess.
Yeah.
If we're talking in sort of broad strokes.
I mean, he's a liability over and over again.
Yeah.
And why they don't just like fucking boot him out and like put him on the fucking lift and like put him outside.
Yeah. So she wakes up and they argue some more and then she throws him out. Sarah goes for a walk through the complex. She spots a zombie struggling against its chains in one of the labs. And then the barracks door busts open. The army dudes spill out of the hall, all just fighting. Bill comes along and pulls her away, guiding her down to his spot in the bunker where he and John have set up quite a little place to live.
And we see a lovely fake bat fly by. So every time Barnabas Collins on Dark Shadows would turn into a bat, it would be like this big felt bat. And every time I see it, because you see it a bunch of times in this movie, I'll be like, there's the Dark Shadows bat.
Every time they show you that deeper cave, there's always that like crappy bat flying.
Yeah, it's like it's a real Scooby-Doo moment.
It's a nice little double wide with a rack for their Uzis and a fancy patio set out back with lounge chairs, plastic grass, and patio lights.
Hey, it can't just be fucking shouting and cackling 24/7.
No, hey, I love it. These guys got it made down there.
And this is one of the more memorable moments of this movie because it gives them, you have some insight into their character.
Yeah. So John urges her to speak her mind, so she confronts him about not doing much more than the bare minimum expectation of flying the helicopter.
Also, fuck you, bitch. Listen, he just pulled you out of a fight between these fucking dudes. Also, in the cafeteria, when Rose is about to shoot her, John jumps up and has his hand on his gun like he's going to fight back. She will eventually take this back and say she's sorry, but again, these moments where it's this is a moment of conflict that could have fleshed out this story, and it just sort of doesn't.
This is the thing is, I think he's also going on a sort of this movie is very much by the numbers. As much as I love it, it's very by the numbers. This is leading up to what I think he intended this movie's "When There's No More Room in Hell" scene to be.
Yeah,
because he gives a monologue.
Yeah,
but the monologue is not nearly.
Okay.
It's okay, but it's not nearly as memorable as Ken Foray, right? But yeah, he just tells her that he and Bill just don't believe in this mission. To him, the war is lost already, and they're just waiting for their turn to die. He reads from a catalog of all the items stored in the compound, and apparently that's the real manifest of that storage facility.
And it could have been a powerful moment because it is essentially him saying, all of this for what?
Yeah.
What has this brought us to?
He's like, we've got government records. We've got we got the negatives to all of your favorite films. For what? For what reason? Why are we saving this shit? There's nobody to fucking watch this stuff.
Right. And it could have been a really powerful moment, and it just isn't. And I feel like that sums up this movie. It's a lot of lost opportunity.
Yeah. So apart from being a storage area for private property, Pennsylvania government and even Hollywood studios were storing public records and film negatives down there in case of a nuclear war, like those scenes in Threads of the museums taking down the exhibits in preparation for the war. This mine
Except in this, no one's face is melting off.
Right. You asked about episodes like that we had from last year that were great. Threads in the Day After.
Oh man, those were exhausting.
Those were hard episodes. But yeah, those were
Wasn't one of them 3 hours long?
I think the Threads episode is a little over 3 hours. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
This mine would have been the location for many museums in the Northeast to preserve their art in the eventuality of war. He also doesn't really care about the mystery. Nobody knows why this is happening, but at this point, does that even fucking matter? Maybe it's divine.
These are good points. This is again. So we got this character of Sarah, who is supposed to be a tough chick, badass, but this is the real way people would react. It's who fucking cares at this point?
And it's positioned directly after the 400,000 to 1 outnumbered thing.
Right.
Clearly John has his head on straight, where it's just what?
None of this matters if we're all dead.
Even if you figure this out, literally the entire world is dead. What are you going to do about it? His solution is the same as Rhodes. The three of them could take the helicopter and run, continue looking for survivors, and start.
And then he's like, maybe we could make some babies. And I was like, come on, man.
He's being a little presumptive there. Later on, Sarah takes a break.
Maybe she likes squirrely helicopter guys. Maybe she likes ladies. Maybe she doesn't like anybody.
She's got a type. Later on, Sarah takes a break from her research and spots Fisher in his lab trying to work with one of the zombies. It struggles against its chains and rejects the canned meat that the military provided them with.
Meat snacks.
Beef treats.
Yes, delicious. Do you have any beef treats?
Oh, they look gross. Logan arrives to declare that the instinct these zombies are acting on is the expectation of reward. They can be tricked into behaving the same way we were, he says ominously. They head to his lab to see what he's been working on. And as they leave, the zombie throws over the table in front of him, so Logan scolds him and leaves him in the dark to think about what he did.
And then as they walk out, we hear the gonk faintly playing in the background.
That old leitmotif. So in Logan's lab, he has Bub chained up to a wall. He's been responding so well that he let him live. Yep. Logan and Bub, it's a Wolverine reference.
Okay, no, I get it. I see it, hear it.
They laugh as Logan goes into the lab to give Bub some items to play with. A razor, a toothbrush, and a paperback copy of Salem's Lot. Bub puts
he's shout out to my boy.
Yep. Always making love to those Stephen King references.
I mean, at least it's a good Stephen King.
It's a good Stephen King. It's one of those cool like paperbacks with the embossed cover.
Mm-hmm.
Bub puts the razor to his face and he sees his reflection, instinctively remembering what you do with a razor. He runs it against his skin, carving off strips of it.
Well, this could have been gorier, and I'm glad it's not.
Yeah.
Because he really just kind of cuts himself a little bit.
Well, also, it's sort of like, I would imagine that when they were sort of considering this, what's left inside the zombies, you know?
Right.
Like there's no
they
blood.
Won't bleed.
There's not gonna bleed. There's no circulation, you know. And if they did, it'd probably be like putrescence.
Yeah, no, I thought this was, dare I say, tasteful?
Yeah. He picks up the book. Again, it's this is like Savini firing on all cylinders, just considering every fucking angle. He picks up the book and opens.
High praise for your nemesis. I
know. I got to give him props. Got to give it up to him. So he picks up the book and opens it, miming as though he's reading it. Sarah is impressed by what she sees. Bub doesn't crash out at the presence of the living like the other zombies do. Doesn't automatically go at him like he wants to eat him. The good times are interrupted by Rhodes and Steele. Logan brings them in too and puts a telephone on the table in front of Bub, encouraging him to talk on it.
I feel like Rhodes and Steele, this moment is perfect. Like this is a moment that does resonate with me. Because this is like every moment of my life where that gross masculinity somehow breaks in and I'm like, oh, right, people like you exist in the world. And I'm supposed to just act like that's okay.
Yeah. Say hello, Aunt Alicia.
Mm-hmm. And he does.
Yep. Bub seems to copy Logan and speak to the best of his ability. Spots Rhodes in his uniform and stands up straight, saluting. Rhodes refuses to salute back, so Logan asks Sarah to unload her weapon, and he gives it to Bub.
It's rude.
That's fucking risky.
Never forget.
Bub pulls the slide back, remembering how to use it, and then pulls the trigger with it pointed at Rhodes. And I get it.
Pin in that.
Yeah. Out of the main room, Rhodes can't believe it. Is this the progress he's been talking about? Logan explains his plan. If we can't kill them all, we have to learn to live with them. And to do that, they'll have to domesticate them like animals with the promise of reward.
Did you ever read that book, Hex?
No.
I think it's written, might be a Swedish author. It's about this town that is like cursed with this awful witch. And they eventually figure out like how they like sew her mouth shut. And she's like an ageless witch. And so she just sort of haunts their town and they have to learn to live with her. And as long as they don't do like they just sort of have to like tolerate her presence, she can't really do anything to them. And then of course something happens that she becomes sort of unbound. But it's very much like that where it's like we just have to live with her in our presence. And she's this horrible thing.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It's a pretty good book.
We should
see if he wrote anything else.
We should option that and make a movie out of it.
I'm surprised nobody did it.
It sounds perfect for a horror movie.
It comes across as it has a very kind of stock feel to it. It's very tropey, but it's a pretty interesting idea.
Yeah,
I'm surprised nobody ever bothered.
So back at the gate, the men work to pull more specimens in. They bring in a new zombie. The neck restraint breaks as Miguel guides it around. The scene is so hectic that no one notices her lunging for one of the unnamed army guys. She presses him against the wall and bites his neck. In a panic, he fires his weapon, spraying poor Greg Nicotero with bullets.
Greg Nicotero, we hardly knew ye.
Sarah put the zombie down, but a second one is broken loose from the pen and is lunging around for someone to bite.
And this is when Miguel's like, it's not my fault. And I was like, bitch, it is your fault. Again, the second time it is your fault. Stop blaming other people.
Well, this time the restraint breaks.
Well, I'm still putting it on him.
Yeah, fuck it. It's him, old Butterfingers Miguel.
Mm-hmm. Just call me Mr. Butterfingers.
Miguel knocks it on the ground and in the chaos falls over. It grabs his arm and bites him, and then he runs off into the cave while Steele kills the soldier with the gaping neck wound. Miguel runs to the end of the cave where John and Bill live. John grabs him while Sarah hits him over the head with a rock several times. She pulls a machete from John's belt and hacks off the infected arm and then lights a torch to cauterize the stump.
It's a pretty cool moment. We've talked a lot about the effects in this movie, but like when you consider this is 1985, like this is practical pretty much through and through.
Yeah.
And there are moments where you can tell how they're doing things, but a lot of the time you really can't. Like later on, he will stand up with a stump, and for a moment, I'm sort of like, how did they do that? And I'm like, he's just a camera position.
Yeah, it's serious. It's that movie magic. Like literally, his real arm is just taped behind him.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Like he just, again, I know I'm not super into the movie, but like technically speaking, it's an achievement.
Yeah. The initial takes of the shot were done with a silicone rubber arm, and when Sarah hit it with the machete just bounced off.
Yeah, it's like the rubber frogs in the X-Files episode.
Yeah. Savini replaced the spot where she hits it with mortician's wax, and then it worked right.
Just the mortician's wax.
Yeah.
Guys, just burn the body, okay? Because mortician's wax is your alternative.
So in the distance, they can hear Steele coming. Rhodes is close behind with Rickles. They have another standoff where everybody draws their guns on each other. They want to kill Miguel for obvious reasons, but Sarah talks them down, explaining that she thinks she got it before the disease spread.
Then he fucking runs off into the cave like Barry Goldberg.
So they'll keep Miguel away from everybody else and kill him themselves if need be. Rhodes acquiesces and leaves with Steele, promising to go into the corral and kill all the zombies there in the morning. And then as he's leaving, he's like, "Get out of there, Steele. We have better things to do." And I'm thinking,
like what?
Like what, guy?
Because again, if you're going to go and kill all the zombies, well, then they don't need you anymore. So I guess you guys can, go home?
When the tension breaks, Sarah finally breaks down. John is there to comfort her. Then later on, they clean Miguel up and put him to bed to recover. They apologize to each other for being indifferent to one another's mission.
And I appreciate this moment. More on, I appreciate it coming from John because I can understand where John was at. Sarah, I'm kind of like, whatever.
She's married to the mission. That's her.
Yeah,
that's her. Basically, that's her entire character.
But I mean, the fact that she's just like, you guys don't help. But it's like, I don't know. I've seen them pull you out of a couple scrapes at this point.
So she and Bill head out to the complex to get some medical supplies for Miguel. They search Logan's lab and find a house of horrors there.
This part's pretty great.
Bill finds a tape recorder that Logan uses for his notes and plays it back. And the playback is a disturbing conversation between Logan and Mother, with him playing both sides.
Yeah, this is the Aunt Martha part that I was thinking of, where he's just like, no, that won't do at all.
It is unclear what the problem is, but he's very much not doing well. Logan then continues to argue with one of the zombies on the recording, angrily beating it when it refuses to comply. Bill lifts a sheet off of a bloody sample on the table, revealing Greg Nicotero's severed head attached to a series of wires. Its eyes look around wildly and its mouth moves, making no sound.
It's a little waxy. It also just doesn't make sense in terms of the story. Like, the whole point is if you separate the brain from the body, it's over.
But, this is the one that sort of just explains that, like, if you cut the brain off from the rest of the body dies, but the brain continues to operate unless you destroy it with like a bullet or something.
And that sounds like it's a real we just kind of want to do some cool shit.
Well, yeah, that's because they're going to do it like a couple more times.
I love the next one. I think it's really great.
It's one of that's another one of my favorites. So Bill announces that they should probably be going in the sense that they take the helicopter before Rhodes and what's left of his unit can take it. On the way back to their bunk, they spot Logan entering the lab, carrying a bucket, and they sneak in to watch him work with Bub.
Fish heads.
So Logan places some headphones on Bub with a tape recorder. He goes to adjust it, and there's a tense moment where Bub grabs his arm as if about to bite it. And then Logan relaxes and Bub lets go. He presses play on the tape recorder, and the music, which I think is Ode to Joy, blasts into Bub's ears, and he is...
I would have liked some Laura Branigan or something.
just Gloria.
Yeah. I mean, I can't name another Laura Branigan song, so yeah.
Self-Control?
Okay, sure, yeah.
Logan teaches Bub to play and stop the music, and then, satisfied, places the bucket on the table. Bub pulls bloody meat out of it and ravenously chows down. Sarah turns away and ends up bumping directly into Rhodes, who is horrified by what he sees in the lab. Logan leaves and also runs into the situation at hand. Rhodes demands to know what he's feeding Bub. They open the freezer in the lab, revealing the butchered remains of the soldiers. Logan tries to reason with him, but Rhodes won't listen. He shoots Logan, emptying an entire magazine into him. And then Fisher comes running in to see what the commotion is. Back at the homestead, time has run out, and John charges out to find Bill and Sarah. And from a distance, he sees the group approaching, with Fisher at gunpoint, demanding that he come out and put his gun down.
Now, this plan that Rhodes has really doesn't work. They try to force it to work, but...
We're just going to take the helicopter and leave?
Well, he's just like, and you're coming with us. And he's like, no, I'm not. All he has to say is, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, you can let them go and then I will. But like, and he's like, nope, we're still doing it. And you're coming with us. It's like, it's not, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah. John disarms and Rhodes demands that he fly the soldiers out. He refuses, so Rhodes shoots Fisher and then places Sarah and Bill in the pen at the corral. John begs for him to let them go, but doing nothing. Rhodes orders the pen open as the zombies approach. Remembering that there's a missile silo at the end of the corral, Bill and Sarah take off running with Steele, while Steele beats up John.
And then we see that bat go flying by again.
Yes, you do. Gotta get their money's worth out of that. Mm-hmm. Off in the distance, they hear the alarm of the silo elevator. Steele and Rickles run to check it out. We cut to Miguel on the lift going to the surface.
And so his whole fucking deal is that he's going to murder them all.
Yeah. Yeah. He's completely
and this guy has had more than enough naps.
He should be fully back on his feet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the mine, Sarah and John are attacked by zombies. They fight them off with a board and a shovel. They find lying around.
Steven is his name.
That's it. Steven, Flyboy.
Yep.
John uses the shovel to sever a zombie head at the jaw. Then he flings the top head off into the darkness. We cut to them running away, and the head in the foreground, eyes still looking around.
It's fantastic.
That is exactly why they do that with the Nicotero head.
It's just a little goofy, but like it's fun.
I love it. I think it's so cool. In the chaos, John gets the drop on Rhodes and knocks him out. He steals his pistols and heads into the mine to find Bill and Sarah. And what follows is a montage of John just casually blasting zombies in the head.
And this guy is a great shot.
Just it one-handed.
In the dark.
Yep. Steele and Rickles arrive to find the lift controls all ripped up. They're effectively trapped. Rickles demands that he fix it. Up top, Miguel opens the fence, letting the mob of zombies in. He lays down on the lift, lets them fall on him, and activates the elevator.
So this is proof that he's been an asshole the whole time.
Yeah, this is his ultimate asshole move.
Yeah, like fuck this guy.
Yep, he lowers hundreds of zombies into the compound as they tear him apart. Down below, Rhodes and his men arrive in time to see the situation spin completely out of control. They run into the tunnels for their lives. Rhodes
we don't get as many unique zombies as we do in the other ones, but we do get Clown Zombie, and Clown Zombie is my favorite.
What I love about this particular movie is every zombie looks like they were bitten while they were at work.
One of them is a guy dressed in a maid's uniform.
He was in a kink session, obviously.
Okay.
There's like ballerina zombie, and there's a bride zombie, and there's a guy in like a cap and gown, like he was graduating from high school.
There's one who's like a football. He's in like a football jersey, and it just says mailbox on it.
Yes.
Yeah, but Clown Zombie is my favorite because he's like classic clown.
It's so fucking great. Yeah. Rhodes climbs onto the only cart left, leaving the rest of the guys to run on foot, and then he retreats to the armory. Meanwhile, in the lab, Bub's chain breaks. He stumbles back into the lab to show Logan, only to find him dead.
Gotta be honest, if that's all that's keeping him on, it's pretty precarious.
I know. And the thing is all of these restraints keep breaking, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to fucking live down there.
And I do love the Bub. Like the thing comes off, and he's just kind of like, oh no.
Oh yeah, I
have to go tell somebody.
Better go tell Dr. Logan. And then he goes and he finds his friend dead.
And he's very upset.
And
he is a great character.
Yeah, that actor, fucking dick, but he really emotes in a way that like makes Bub there's a reason that he's on all the posters and shit. He's the one that everybody remembers. He's a great character. And it's probably the movie's best idea is actually giving a zombie.
Yeah. Like in a movie that's light on originality, it's definitely like it's a real a home run.
Yeah. So yeah, he's very sad, and it's probably the only time in my life I felt bad for a zombie. Bub spots Fisher's guns on the ground and he grabs one. Out of the complex, zombies mob Torres and tear his head from his body. The pitch of his screaming rises as they stretch his vocal cords.
It's extremely clever.
What a great idea. Like, it's so ghoulish.
Yeah.
So elsewhere, Rickles gets cornered and pulled to the ground, and the zombies also tear him to pieces, and he continues to cackle all the way to the grave.
Yeah, he sucks.
But I do love, like, as it's happening, like, we got him kind of in close up, and they're all sort of coming, and he exits the frame to the left, just like, whoa, yeah.
It is a very still, like, they all kind of have strange deaths.
Yeah.
Like, they don't get the comeuppance you want them to get, except for maybe Rhodes.
Yeah. Steele finds himself locked out of the lab complex by Rhodes and shoots the lock to get in, also giving the shitloads of zombies access to the complex, and they pour in after him. He takes cover in one of the labs when Bub turns the corner at the end of the hall and fires on him. He reloads his weapons and gets ready to shoot Bub, but a few of the nasty-ass waterlogged zombies grab him from behind and bite his neck. Kills a couple with his pistol, but the mob enters after them. Back against the wall, Steele turns the gun on himself.
It's gross.
It's a pretty good shot.
There's something about, like, there's a difference between them being eaten by zombies and him shooting himself.
Yeah.
And there's something kind of gnarly about him shooting himself because they apply the same realistic gore to both scenarios.
Yeah. It's that explosion of blood that sort of like bursts from his head. Out of the mine, John finds Sarah and Bill, and they take out a crowd of zombies with the captured weapons. They make their way to the missile silo. They find the elevator broken, so they climb the ladder. There's some more zombie tension, but they make it. Out of the complex, Rhodes grabs a rifle and some magazines, but unfortunately comes across Bub before he has them loaded. So he runs as Bub fires on him.
This is, I think, one of the best parts of the movie, is the fact that Bub is, like, shooting him down.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He manages to get Rhodes in the shoulder and then again in the leg. Rhodes crawls to the door at the end of the hallway. He's mere feet from freedom, but when he manages to get the door open, he finds a crowd of zombies waiting for him. Bub shoots him.
It's very much like the beginning of the movie when they burst through the wall. It's kind of like when the elevator opens in Dawn.
Yes, it is. That's exactly. Yeah. Again, it's I love it, but it is a little by the numbers, you know.
Yeah.
Bub shoots him once more in the stomach, which drops him. The zombies fall on him and tear him in half for one of horror's most iconic kills. They drag his legs away and feast on the guts as Rhodes uses his last words to talk some shit.
And then Bub just kind of like tosses the gun and then gives him like a real shitty salute.
Yeah. So they'd been reusing these pig guts for every shot involving intestines and organs and then storing them in a portable refrigerator when not in use. So
yuck.
They broke down the I know. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. They broke down the set to go to Florida for a week and shoot the exteriors. And while out, the custodial staff of the Wampum Underground unplugged the fridge while cleaning and never plugged it back in.
Why would you unplug the fridge while what are you cleaning?
Do not know. I do not know. Like maybe they needed to move it to like, I don't know, fucking buff the floor or something.
I mean, hey, if you're going to clean the floor, you have to move the plants.
I'm not mad at you. I am mad at dirt.
I'm mad at the dirt.
When they returned to finish the shoot and do the death of Rhodes, they found the refrigerator full of spoiled pig intestines.
Well, waste not, want not, George Romero says.
Faced with stalling production for a few days while sourcing new ones or finishing the shoot.
I mean, sourcing new ones. Just go to a butcher shop.
Well, no, you can't just go to a fucking butcher shop and get this shit. Like, you have to arrange for them, you know?
Well.
So this was the final shot of the production. They soldiered on. They had one shot at it. Pilato was on the floor under a false torso stuffed with these rotting pig
guts
under hot lights for 4 hours. You can see him barely holding it together in the behind-the-scenes footage, and that labored croak when he inhales is likely him struggling to breathe in the moment. There you can see the behind-the-scenes footage on YouTube. He's looking like he's about to vomit, and I cannot imagine being in that state for like hours at a time.
Gross.
And when they cut, all the zombie actors are like waving in front of his face. So what follows is several minutes of zombie gore and carnage as everyone that didn't make it has been reduced to gory body parts. Blood sprays everywhere. Everybody has something to gnaw on. It's fucking gross as hell. Outside, Sarah, Bill, and John make it to the helicopter, but a huge crowd of zombies is also approaching. They rush to get the copper ready. Sarah opens the cockpit and is grabbed by a zombie. But then she wakes up on the white sands of a nearby zombie-free island.
That's another dream sequence.
Yeah, pulling the rug out from under you. John and Bill fish from the shore. She pulls out a makeshift calendar and marks the date, November 4th. Fade to black, roll credits.
My question is, who's she going to make them babies with? Okay.
Yep. Gotta start somewhere, I suppose.
You gotta flip a coin. There we have it.
Yep. Day of the Dead. I struggle because in spite of like all of the criticism is valid. This is a deeply flawed movie. The fact that not only did it kind of come together really quickly, he also had to sort of break it down very quickly into something that he could afford to produce.
Yeah, it definitely was not made under ideal conditions, and you can feel that. And I think that goes a long way to explaining what the outcome was. I mean, the guy has made, prior to this, he had made several movies. Two of them are really outstanding movies. I think there are reasons why this one is not as outstanding. I think he was capable of doing it, that just the conditions weren't right, and that we get what we get.
Yeah. Because again, he went into this not really like every time he gets kind of like roped into another one of these zombie movies, the last one that he made was the last one he was going to make. And then somebody is like, hey, you should do this. And then like in Dawn of the Dead, it just so happened that like the idea was good. The time was right. In this one, it was a stipulation of a contract and he didn't really want to do it. And so he swung real wide and then stepped on his own shoelaces when they were like, okay, but it's got to have an R rating. And he was like, well, fuck that shit.
Right. Well, like all you've got is gore effects. It kind of sucks. And someone's like, but you got to tamp that down too.
Yeah. And so as I recognize all of this and I agree with these assessments. That said, I still think it's a lot of fun. I love that it is a movie primarily driven by outrageous overacting and bad guys who are extremely colorful. There's nobody to really root for. You don't like it's not like
there's no stakes in this movie at all. It's like you know who's going to survive from the beginning.
Right. Yeah. You know, and so and nobody has the sort of gravitas of like Ken Faree or Galen Ross, you know, like they're just, the cast is not nearly as memorable as they are.
No, and they're not as charming. They're just shitty people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. If I hadn't put this on, like if I hadn't been watching this with a more critical eye, I would have had more fun. But like to look at it in the context of a trilogy such as it is, this is the one that sort of falls flat for me.
It's a big comic book, and the fucking special effects are amazing in it, which is really what kind of puts it over for me. It's a spectacle in a way that I don't think any of his other movies are, but it's that is mostly due to the sort of the vision and skill of Tom Savini and like his crew. So, yeah.
I mean, you know, not my favorite, but it's a fun one.
Yeah.
It could have been way worse. So.
Could have been way worse. Well, next year we'll do Land of the Dead.
No, actually. I have not seen that movie, and I'm not going to. Actually, no, I have seen it. I think
I saw that movie in the theaters. I saw it. I was so excited. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my disappointment?
Oof.
Yep. But hey, 3 years to bring me the axe.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
You know what you're not going to be disappointed with? 99-cent rental coming back with Raiders of Atlantis.
Oh, shit. That's going to be a stupid one. I cannot wait to talk about it because that movie is fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's like, what if Raiders of the Lost Ark was made by Italians and also had a biker gang in it for some reason?
Ivan Rassimov wearing that ridiculous skull mask.
Everybody in that movie is ridiculous. Everybody.
Yep.
Well, then after that, It's good. We are back-to-back auspicious moments.
Yeah.
This one, and then we got our 100th episode in 2 weeks.
What are we doing?
We are digging into one of horror's biggest titles. It's The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And I think if everything goes according to plan, we have a guest, and it's going to be a good guest.
Yep, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So if you're new to Bring Me the Axe, stick around. Thanks for joining us. Stick around. We got a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. If you are an old listener, you go way back. Thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you. We love you, each and every one of you guys.
Yeah, either way, we love you very much.
You're wonderful. You're sensational. That's another good one. This house possessed.
I have tremendous taste.
All right, so get back here in a week for a real fucking dumb movie, Raiders of Atlantis, also known as Atlantis Interceptors. And then we'll be back in 2 to celebrate 100 episodes of this fucking podcast with The Exorcist.